Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening everyone. Welcome again to another one of our seniors workouts from home. In today's workout, we're going to focus primarily on strengthening those important muscles in your hips, although I'll still make sure to work on your shoulders and your rotator cuff and pepper in some coordination drills. So without further ado, let's get started with our warm-up. I'd like it if you could space your feet out wider than shoulder width and then stretch out your arms as wide as you could possibly get them. Now if you can't get your arms out this high, then just lift them up as high up as you can. What I'd like for all of you to do now is to send those arms as far back as you can send them so that we're stretching out the top line of muscle tissue, our chest, our anterior deltoids, our biceps, keeping the palms facing forwards, and then slowly bring those hands back together. Clasp them together and then stretch the shoulder blades forward. So if you can see a profile view, it looks like this. Now let's open up our wingspan again. Stretch the arms out. Send the hands together. Stretch the shoulders forwards. And then one more time with a deep breath in. And then slowly exhale. Now I'd like for you to pull the shoulders back and send the shoulders forwards. But make sure that while we do this, you keep your shoulders down the entire time. Don't let them rise up. Excellent. Now I want you to open up your wingspan. We're going to flex the hips. We're going to fold in the knees. We're going to drop down, cross those arms over, rise up, and take a nice deep breath in. And slowly breathe out as you drop down. We'll rise up for 2. And then slowly drop. Breathe out, and one more time, take a nice deep, expansive breath in. I don't want you to drop your arms yet. I want you to rotate them all the way backwards and all the way forwards. You can be doing this at a faster pace than me or a slower pace. It really depends on you as an individual. As long as you're making sure to get as much rotation externally and internally as you can get. So that means rotating as far backwards and forwards as you can get. If you can now, continue to rotate them, but create a flex in your elbow. Open up your hands as much as possible. So if you get a profile view, I'm trying now to get my hands as far behind the elbow as possible before allowing the arms to swing forwards again. Good. Excellent. And then one more. I know your shoulders are probably dying by now. If you want to drop the hands down a little bit, you can, but make sure you don't rest them fully. We're going to draw some circles backwards with the arms. And while you're doing this, try not to let the shoulders move as well. Try to keep them down, pulled down. And then we're going to send the hands forwards, like circles forwards. And then shake your shoulders out and relax. You can keep your feet about shoulder width apart for this next one. I want you to cross your hands over your elbows. We're going to twist or rotate as far as we can to the right. And then we're going to twist and rotate as far as we can to the left. Ideally, we're going to do as much of that rotation through the waist, that twisting through the waist as possible. But if you have difficulty doing that, you can pick up the heel of one foot and pivot on that foot. And then do the same thing on the other side. And as you're getting a little bit more flexible here, you can start twisting through the waist and utilizing that footwork if you're able to do both. And to finish these rotations out, I want you to bounce to the right, go to the left, bounce to the left for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. So you can now grab your rubber band. I hope you have a rubber band for this one. If you don't, I've shown you in a previous video how you can use a towel. You just pull the hands as far apart as you can and pull them to the right and then pull them to the left. With the rubber band, it allows us to separate the hands and utilize both sides equally at the same time. So I'd like for you to tuck those elbows in, create no space between your arm and your body. So we're trying to make sure that this is a pure rotational movement and it's not a lateral movement or a lateral swing of the arm. So we're focusing purely on your rotator cuff muscles here. Tuck those elbows in. We're going to open and close for a count of, we'll do a multiple of 2, counting from 0 to 20, starting at 0, 2, 4, if there's any superstars out there, 6 who'd like to make this more of a challenge, 8, and you feel like your balance is extraordinary, 10, you could try this picking one foot up, that's 12, 14, I'd advise doing that 16 next to a wall so you've got something to lean into, 18, and 20. Now I'd like for you to turn the palms down, keep them shoulder width apart again, tuck your elbows into your sides. We're going to do exactly the same movement, and if you were standing on one leg for the first ones, you can stand on the other leg for the next ones. Let's count back from 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 0. Great. You can put the band down. You're going to need it again later, but for now we're going to move over to some coordination exercises for your feet. What I'd like for you to do on this one is to raise your left heel and your left heel only. It's just going to go up and down. I'd like for your right foot, I'd like for you to raise the ball of your right foot and only the ball of your right foot. We're going to do that simultaneously, so the heel of the left and the ball of the right. We'll count this as a multiple of 7, starting from 0, 7. If you want to grab a chair for balance, you can. That was 14, 21, 28, 35. I hope you're counting along. 42. I hope you're trying to count the number ahead of me. 49, 56, 63, and 70. Now we're going to pick up the heel of the right foot and the ball of the left foot. So we're inverting what we just did. Counting back from 7, 63, 56, 49, 42, 35, 28, 21, 14, 7, and 0. Now for this next one, you're going to want to stand behind a chair so that you can pull yourself forwards. Because what I'm going to have you do is pick up the balls of both of your feet at the same time. Of course, when you pick the balls of your feet up, the first time you're not ready, you might want to swing back. So this is why I'd like for you to grab a chair while you do the action. A slight swing back of the hip will act as a wonderful counterbalance. I'm doing this to strengthen the extensors of your toes and the muscles that flex your ankles. So in other words, the muscles that really help you pick up the foot to walk and not trip. Let's do this. Instead of counting a multiple, we're going to spell a word that should be appearing above me. It's going to be rejuvenating. We're going to spell that forwards and then backwards. So let's start at R, E, J, U, V, E, N, A, T, I, N, G. Now we're going to spell it backwards. G, N, I, T, 18, A, N, E, V, U, J. I really hope I spelled this one right. E and R. You can go back and verify for me. Leave it in the comments below if I spelled that right or not. So we're going to move to the next exercise, which is going to be for your hips. You're going to want a chair. You're going to want a band. Actually, the chair isn't necessary, but it's always nice to have something there to balance. You're going to hold one end of the band with your right hand and then lay down the loose portion of that band on the floor and step on it with your left foot. Make sure there's not too much slack in the band, okay? Because I then want you to go ahead and step on the band with your right foot as well. The band should already have some tension in it. It shouldn't be slack. Because what I want you to do is take a very small step to the right and then bring the feet back together. Small step and bring the feet back together. If there's too much slack in the band, you're going to have to take a big step and come back which really turns it into something that I don't need it to be for you right now. If this action is too tough for you, you can either use the chair for balance and raise the foot instead of taking the step, although if you can, I prefer that you made the effort to actually take a step and change weight from foot to foot. And if you don't have a band, you can do the standing lateral leg raise. So I'll let you get yourself set up. We're going to count this as a multiple of 8, starting from 0. If you want to grab the chair, you can grab it, but try 8 to actually put your weight from left foot to right foot. That's 16. 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. Wonderful. Now I want you to loop that band the opposite direction. So hold it in your left hand, step on it with your right foot, create some tension in the band. When you step onto it with your left foot, we're going to step to the left and back, counting back from 80, 72, 64, 56, 48, 40, 32, 24, 16, 8, and 0. Wonderful. For those of you who like that exercise and you want to do it more often, and I would certainly advise doing it a few times a week if you like it, because it's only going to help you out. Your body can handle doing this exercise a couple times a week at least. You could step onto the band, assuming it's long enough, with both feet, and do steps to the right, and then do steps to the left. And that one is a wonderful exercise. Very effective for someone of any level, really. The last one we're going to do standing up is going to be called a hip hike. So I want you to stand next to the chair, keep it to your left-hand side. I want you to stand on your left foot. You can keep some weight in your right foot. I think for the majority of you out there watching, you're going to need to use both feet. This is called a hip hike, and I'll just demonstrate with one foot so you get a sense for what exactly it is that I'm doing. I'm allowing my hip to raise up, so I'm pressing it out to the right-hand side, and then I'm allowing it to go back to neutral. In other words, I'm using the gluteus medius on my left side to hike the hip up. Hike the hip up. So, if you can't stand on one foot like that, even with the support of a chair, and hike the hip up, and many of you starting out will not be able to, I want you to raise the heel of your right foot. And then just apply some pressure into the floor with the ball of the right foot to let you hike the hip. That is hard to say. Try to say that. Hike the hip up. Say it 3 times fast in a row. You'll see the trouble I'm having here. As long as you're not relying solely on this leg, it should be this side of the hip that's pushing your hips out to the side, yeah? So, we're going to count this in a multiple of 6s, starting from 0, 6. So for your benefit, I'll try it with one leg. 12, so you get a sense for the movement of the hip. 18, it's a really, really great exercise. 24, in terms of what it does for you. 30, 36, now with both feet. 42, 48, 54, and 60. Now I'll let you shift to the other side of your chair, get yourself in place. Let's move the hip from right to left this time, primarily utilizing the right hip. Counting back from 60, 54, 48, 42, 36, 30, 24, 16, 24, 18, sorry, 12, 6, I'm doing my best here, and 0. Okay, good. I think the next exercise we do is going to be in a chair, and I'm not going to count a multiple for that one. We'll do another memory drill though. So for this exercise, I want to work your back and your biceps. So if you can take this rubber band and loop it around the base of your foot. I want you to extend that leg out. Squeeze the front of the thigh for all your might. And do this along with me. Don't wait until my description's finished, because I actually want you already working this quadricep, these quadriceps right now. we're going to pull our hands towards our rib cage, keeping the elbows tight to the body, and then stretch them out and repeat. And rather than counting a multiple, remember to keep those legs up while I explain this. Now a set of numbers should be appearing above me right now. The numbers are 888, 777, 222, and then I've added a 1 for fun. So it's not a complicated series of numbers to remember, but nonetheless I'd like it if you could remember them and then count them forwards and backwards. Let's start at 8, 8, 8. That was 7. 7. I'm giving a little time for you to try to remember the number before I count at 7. 2. 2. 2, and let's not forget that 1 for fun. Now you can relax that leg. I hope you feel a sense of relief. Loop the band around your left foot and pick up the left foot. Start squeezing the quadriceps or the front of the thigh artificially. And by that I mean, I want you to squeeze those muscles harder than they actually need to squeeze to keep the leg straight. Because I want you developing these muscles and I want you developing a better awareness of them as well. Mind-muscle connection, awareness of your muscles and how they feel and how it feels to contract them is a really important part of exercise. And if you continue to squeeze the muscles a little harder than you actually need to on the exercises and think about the feel of it, you're going to get better results too. You'll really notice that. So for this last one, I want you to separate your hands as much as possible. So open up the wingspan. I hope you kept your leg up the whole time because that was a part of the exercise. We are going to count that number sequence. I hope you remembered it backwards. Starting at 1, 2, 2. I hope I remember the number sequence too. It was 7. 7. Hey, this will work for me too. 7. And then the last 3 digits, 8, 8, and 8. Absolutely stellar, everyone. I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to finish up with one more exercise. If you could loop the band around the base of both of your feet at the same time and scoot your butt back in the chair, it's going to make it a little bit more comfortable for you. What I'd like for you to do is stretch that band tight and then just hold your hands on your lap. You could grip the chair at the sides if that's more comfortable for you, but the idea is that that band is going to be providing a resistance for us. So if you could all get set and raise your legs right now while I'm speaking. So once again, you're already exercising while I'm speaking. We are going to drop the heels and touch the floor, extend the knee, separate the feet, and then repeat. So it's our quadriceps and our gluteus medius at the same time. I guess we might as well do one more multiple for the day, or at least for the exercises. We'll make that 11, starting from 0, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, 110, let's count backwards, don't stop there, 110, 99, 88, 77, 66, 55, 44, 33, I hope you're feeling it, 22, and 0. Okay, that completes the exercise component of today's session. We're going to finish out with a fun coordination exercise. So, you're going to want a bouncy ball. Tennis ball, basketball, lacrosse ball, rubber ball, whatever you've got. Last time we worked on peripheral sight. I'm going to put that to the side. Today it's pure coordination. I'd like for you to tap 3 times with the left foot and twice with your right foot for every bounce. And hopefully you're not going to lose it as easily as I lost it. So I said we wouldn't do another multiple, but let's do one more. We'll make it a 12. We can count from 0 to 120 in 12s. Remember, 3 times with the left, twice with the right. Starting at 0, 12, 24. You can catch that ball with both hands. 36 if you like. 48 or your dominant hand. 60, whatever makes it easiest for you. 72. 84. 96. 108. And that's 120. Now we're going to count back from 120, but I want you to tap 3 times with the right foot and twice with the left foot. All right, so here we go. 120, 108, 96, 84, 72, 60, 48, 36, 24, 12, and 0. What were the lyrics of that song? Knock 3 times was on the ceiling if you want me, twice on the pipe if the answer is no. I think that's the lyrics of the song. That exercise just made me think of it. So I had a blast today, as always. I'm looking forward to getting to train with you again in a few days' time. But until then, I hope that you stay active, stay healthy,